That's a 2.5 minute song or 2.5, 3 minute song, and I'm tempted to just cut a
Do the
new
whole
version
thing.
of it where it's the whole song.
I mean, we should do a video of us, or just
Just
like a GIF that's just, you know,
well, I mean, that'd be pretty easy to make a GIF out of that, right? You just have to
yeah.
go because I mean, we groove at the beginning of every one of our shows for
It's
just a little bit. So I mean,
I
that would be
can't
pretty
tell
easy to
you
make a GIF out of
a GIF,
a
a
GIF.
GIF peanut butter. I can't tell you how much I enjoy a little clarinet to start my day. A
I
little spunky
mean,
clarinet.
you know, I mean, it's Friday morning, of
It's right. That's
course.
the only way.
It's
It's
the
the best
only
way to
way.
start the day.
So good morning, everybody. Good morning to anyone watching us on the replay. Good morning to anyone that's in the chat already. I don't see anyone except this Cappy Fear guy said
Who
that
is
they've
that?
subscribed for 15 months. So good on him.
Wow.
Thank
What?
you.
He's our biggest fan.
It's me.
Oh, it's Matt.
Yeah, it's me. But if you haven't, I mean, now's the time to renew that Amazon Prime subscription.
Yeah.
If you haven't,
Renew it.
that'd
Subscribe.
be
Have
great.
a good time. Matt, remember how in the last show I was going on about hygge? About
Do
the
I?
art of coziness, the Danish word for feeling cozy and safe.
Do I?
Oh, you got it! Oh my gosh, I'm so
I
excited.
did.
You're gonna love it.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
I'm not gonna.
I got it for my wife for Christmas.
Don't.
She doesn't watch this show, so I feel okay. I feel okay talking about it.
Oh,
but
okay.
Please
You
don't
were giving
tell Abby.
me. You were giving me guff last week because Tony doesn't watch the show.
Yeah, but you're courting. That's different. We're married.
I guess that's true.
She no longer has to support my dreams.
I am courting.
Yes. Oh, good morning, Boof. 16 months. Damn. Got me by a month.
Dang, we've got you.
So anyway, the little book of hygge.
Hygge. So
hygge.
It's the art of creating intimacy and coziness, lots of candles, soft surfaces, stuff like that. And obviously, when I'm excited about something, I talk about it a lot. And so Tony has heard a lot about hygge. And so because I'm going up to Alaska for Christmas.
Oh, yeah?
To go see my family. We did Christmas gift exchange this last weekend.
Okay.
And everything that he gave me was hygge themed. He got me a very soft blanket. He got me a book to read. He got me it's the new Mel Brooks.
Oh my God, yeah.
I'm so hyped. I didn't even know it was coming out.
Yet?
No, I haven't started it yet. I didn't even know it was coming out, but he pre-ordered it for me, and it's perfect.
Yeah, it just came out. Okay, he's a keeper.
And
and
I wanted to share these with you because he got me some candles because he knows that I like smelly candles, and the brand is Boy Smells. Boy Smells candles. Straight
so it
out
smells
of LA.
Smells like feet and farts.
Yeah. There's this one is called Saint Al.
Okay.
It's floral. That's nice. And this one is Hinoki Fantôme.
Hinoki Fantôme.
This one, I think this one actually smells like boys because it's got sort of like a leather musky scent to it. This one is pleasant. Sandalwood stuff.
We recently had a Secret Santa exchange.
Boy Smells.
We had a group that had a Secret Santa, and my Secret Santa was none other than the David Thomas.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Boys
he got me this thing, which is really cool. It's a headset holder.
Oh wow.
that lights up and like there's like a different like a cool like light pattern.
Oh, that's so cute.
So I have that set up. So I have a little night light now in my living room, which is nice.
Perfect. Yeah.
Because it's
important.
It's that.
Because if you get up in the middle of the night, a lot of people, their balance is based on vision.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It does look like a Dyson fan, and
it does.
It's not though, unfortunately. It would be cool if it was a little. It'd be nice to have a little fan, that I could that would just kind of give me a nice breeze on the face.
Yeah.
But no, it's
hot when you're working.
It does. Oh, J.L. Cashin's in the house. Good morning.
Good morning, J.L.
Cashin. Yes. So yeah, that was nice. We had that on Sunday. I got to see Boof, which was nice.
Excellent.
Got to see some friends. Got to play some games. We had a perfect round of Secret Santa. We would give the gift, and then the person would guess who the gift is from. And
everybody nailed it.
And everybody nailed it. And I was lucky enough to go like second to last, so it was between two people.
Oh yeah, so it was a little bit easier. Tony got me one more thing, and he really got it for Buddy Joe. But he's got a new sweater.
Oh my goodness, Buddy Joe is a pirate.
He's a little pirate punk. I love that it's got like a turtleneck.
Oh, Buddy Joe.
He's very excited to be here.
He's so adorable. He's like, yeah, I like this. We're going to do that. Oh, he's like, nope, never mind.
He's a little anxious because he sees the suitcase out. He's coming with me, but he doesn't know that.
Oh. Oh, does the little skeleton have dog ears, or is it just a...
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Skeleton? I feel like that's a missed opportunity. But that's not
100%.
That's not Tony's fault. Like, Tony did a good job.
Yeah. Tony got the sweater from Chili Dog, which highly recommend Chili Dog.
I love that it's called Chili Dog. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's like fair trade wool stuff. I don't know. It's a good company. They make good sweaters. That's what I know about that.
That's awesome. I love we have far too many dog sweaters. I've told Abby that we need to get rid of the dog sweaters. We have literally there's a closet.
You can just use them for the baby.
I mean, you're not wrong. But we have a closet in our living room that I went to go because I had to clean out the closet I was using because that's going to be the baby's closet. So I had to clean that out and put it in a different room. Or put it in a different closet. And then when I went to open up this closet in the living room, like 3/4 of the rack is filled with just dog sweaters.
Oh my gosh.
Because Annie has so many dog sweaters. And a lot of them are just real loud. like big bows and because my mother-in-law loves to buy like the real frilly.
Well, and Annie's a fancy dog. So
she is the technical term would be fancy bitch. She is a fancy bitch. 100%. Literally 100% a fancy bitch.
Yeah.
But you know what? So is her dad. I mean, I may not look like I'm a fancy bitch, but I enjoy fancy things.
Yeah. We know. That's why David Thomas got you that fancy. Got me that
fancy light up thing. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I'm a lot fancier than I like to
admit to.
Yeah. Or show in my daily life and upkeep. But yeah, I like to go be fancy.
Everybody likes to be fancy.
Yeah.
Comfy.
Well, I mean, Chloe, we're gonna have plenty of time to talk at the back half of the show.
Yeah.
But for the first part of the show, I think we need to bring on our guest. We have a repeat guest today. He's joining us all the way from beautiful Syracuse, New York. Please welcome to the show, Jake Brillo. Jake.
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Good to be back.
How's Tricks in Syracuse?
It's all right. It's good. It's entered the gray season where we won't see sun for another 6 months and go through the seasonal depression cycle, and it makes it all much better kind of when the sun comes back.
Yeah. It just makes us
really
enjoy spring all the more.
Yeah. Well, and that's always something I have to keep reminding myself of like the shortest day of the year is not that far away. Like it starts getting lighter because it's December 20th, right? Yeah.
20th or 21st, one of those.
It'll start getting lighter again pretty soon, which is not bad. But it is hard. Winter's hard.
Winter is hard.
I think we could all agree.
And it's dark. 4:30.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's the war. Oh my God, that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part of it.
Yeah.
I did, Chloe. I took your advice. I did get some of those compression gloves. For my hands, awesome. Although they still are very, very dry. But yeah, everything is just there's no moisture anywhere.
It's dry.
It's just dry.
Yeah.
It took me way too long to realize I should be using moisturizer in these dry seasons, and I was just suffering for years. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm right there with you, Jake. I just recently, I'm like,
solvable problem.
Solvable problem that I was like, nah, whatever. My feet and hands are supposed to be in pain for 3 months out of the year. But we should moisturize.
So before the show, we were talking a little bit about interacting with nature when it gets cold outside.
Because that's what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I try to, yeah. Well, in general, I'm an ecologist working in environmental consulting, and I kind of love the more challenging aspects of nature, local ecology, which is going outside and trying to identify what things are with no leaves on it at all in the freezing cold. And I had mentioned, I think back in college when I was taking some dendrology classes and stuff, I started my little collection of twigs in my little twig box, and actually hadn't opened it in maybe a year or so. But
we have it. We have a twig box.
How many species we've got in here? It's been twigs and a few just random pine cones, like a ponderosa pine, red pine. I was going through this before I got on. I'm like, I can only identify 75% of this or 25% of this now.
Which is 25% more than probably Chloe and I could identify. I'm sure if you showed us some things, we would say stick, pine cone.
That's the thing too. Is that I didn't even put this together.
Two different little pine cone or two different little acorns.
Yeah.
What's that? Let's see those.
You got your twig box because most people identify trees by the leaves. And in the winter you don't have leaves, and so of course you gotta look at the sticks.
And I mean, sometimes at work we go out when it's kind of outside the growing season where we have to identify plants for our surveys and stuff, and it helps a lot to know when you have just very limited features. I've got two tiny acorns here, or three, but two different species, and really, the only way to tell is one's slightly shiny, which I think you can kind of see, and the other one is not shiny. And it's Quercus palustris, the pin oak, and then I believe Quercus coxiana, scarlet oak, the other little guy. They're the two tiny. Oh, I just dropped.
So there's the shiny fancy.
Yeah, basically
acorn.
Just a shiny difference, and some of them are, especially species in the same genus, like some of the oaks are. You're really okay, one's fuzzy, one's not fuzzy, and that's kind of it. It's really, you just have to be able to
oh my gosh,
look at the tiny, kind of tell the tiny different little hairs on it, and just sometimes just subtle shape, color, and size kind of in general in botany are not the best. Because color can vary, especially if it's, washed out in the later part of the year, different state and size. The same species can have a leaf, yay big or the size of your head. So you really have to like focus on tech.
Oh, you're freezing up on us, Jake. It looks
technical
like
difficulties.
Other certain discernible features. I'm back on. I don't know if my internet should be okay, but I keep sputtering.
No, this is.
Oh yeah, there you are.
There,
you're back.
You're back for a minute.
Okay, I'm not hooked. I'm on my Wi-Fi, which is usually great. Usually,
yeah. No, Wi-Fi is great until it isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a scourge.
Am I going to stay on here?
Yeah, I think so.
There you are. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay. I can move on the other side of this wall where the router is, but it's literally right there. Now, of course, I can stream everything from here. I have no issues, and then.
Right. No, that's usually how it works. Yeah.
Well, it's Friday. All the internet problems happen on Friday.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Everybody's on the internet on Friday. That's the thing. Everybody uses the internet on Friday. I was saying before the show that my parent, like I was in 4-H as a kid, so but I didn't raise like we weren't like farm animal raising people. We didn't have like we didn't have any farm animals.
You have like a prize pig?
We didn't, or like a blue ribbon cow. But I did get a blue ribbon at the Illinois State Fair for a bat house that I built with my dad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It was this cool, like, birdhouse looking thing. It looked like a birdhouse, but it was a bat house.
Yeah.
Because there was a little place for them to get in at the bottom. And then they could go up and it was all dark inside and they could hang upside down.
Yeah, they like little cozy spaces.
Yeah.
Coming through now. I'm sitting right next to my router now.
Yeah. Actually, you're clear as a bell.
Okay.
Perfect.
This laptop has no Ethernet thing. It's,
Oh, I also like the duck picture behind you. That's a nice.
Yeah, it's
a nice duck.
All my paintings came from the Ducks Unlimited Association or organization. I'm not personally a duck hunter, but they are a huge part of wetland conservation, and they buy a lot of land for to keep shooting ducks. You want to keep the land for them, so they buy a lot of land in wetland restoration, so people can continue to go out and do waterfowl hunting.
Yeah, my dad was in Ducks Unlimited.
We're big parts of that. So
yeah,
back on.
Yep, you're back.
Oh, that's awesome.
My dad had this collection of little wooden ducks he had so many of them, and they were all from Ducks Unlimited. Like he was a supporter of them for a while. I think he was a duck hunter for a little bit. I just like looking at ducks. I don't know that I would ever be able to like kill one, but that's just me.
Yeah, I've gone to. I think they would raffle off the paintings for different events, and over the years, I ended up with several duck paintings.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I was going through my twig box, and really, twigs.
Oh man.
We had 0 issues before the show.
I'm sorry that this.
That's okay. Like I said, yeah, we had 0 issues before the show, and then the minute the show starts, which is, I mean,
I have like says full of bars, and well,
that's all right. Oh, it's frozen again. Well, maybe we should.
Yeah, I'm gonna
disconnect him and then bring him back.
Yeah, you want to try restarting your computer? Maybe that'll help. I'm gonna pop you off here. So we'll hopefully get Jake back here in a couple minutes. But yeah, so yeah, my dad was big into Ducks Unlimited, and he had they also had a lot of National Geographics. Did you have a lot of National Geographics too? Maybe this is a Midwest thing.
Ducks Unlimited definitely. We got National Geographic and stuff once in a while because I really liked animals. I had one of those the big binders where you get a little pamphlet. I think it was like once a month or something. You get a little pamphlet with a new animal in it, and then you add it to the binder in the correct section of animals. And it would just be like 2 pages of animal facts. And it was very exciting to me.
It was very exciting. We had a huge
was
bookcase. Like it was almost floor to ceiling. Like it was like I'm 6'2", and like I could just barely reach like the top like row of books
Oh
or
my gosh.
shelves, and there was just yellow, like just National Geographic, like a whole like.
Oh, that's so
thing.
crazy.
It was cool as a kid, you know, because I mean there's some really like stunning photography in there, you know, and you get to learn a lot about the world at large.
Yeah. Lots of like adventures in a book.
That was really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, oh really? Boofs, never heard of Ducks Unlimited. That surprises me. It does not surprise me that you had those National Geographics though. Like that checks out. But Ducks Unlimited is a pretty cool organization.
It's more a rural thing because I don't know a lot of city folk that go out for duck hunting season, you know.
Yeah, it's like I love the conservation aspect of it. I don't like that it's like, oh, it's conservation so we can hunt them.
Yeah. But it makes sense though. Like that's.
I mean, yeah.
I like that they are doing that because it's like you can't hunt something that doesn't exist anymore, and so like making that connection, it like seems very obvious to me, but like making that connection of like if you want to hunt waterfowl, you need to continue to have waterfowl, so we have to create a place for them to be.
Right.
Yeah.
And duck is delicious.
It's true.
Sounds like it would be in. Have you ever been to? You've been up to Portland, right? Portland, Maine.
Yes.
Have you been to Duck Fat? Have you gone and eaten at Duck Fat?
Oh, of course.
So good.
And so I've only been there once, and I was like too full to get one of the milkshakes.
Oh yeah, that was.
But yeah, Duck Fat is a restaurant. If you ever go to Portland and you eat meat, you got to go to Duck Fat because it's all in the name. They use duck fat for everything, and they make
it's so good.
Sandwiches and poutine and milkshakes and like everything that they make.
I will say this though, if you've never had duck fat before, when you do have it, make sure you're in an open air location for a good hour to 2 hours after said experience. That was back when my wife and I were just dating, and I was a little concerned about my future.
When you were still courting.
When we were still courting, if you will. And I was concerned about my prospects after we went to Duck Fat. It was delicious, and we split everything. So it's like I didn't like gorge myself, which would have been very easy for me to do there because the fries are to die for. But yeah, we got a Reuben and some fries and a milkshake, and we just split the whole thing, and it was.
I love a good Reuben.
It was delicious, and I still left like, oh my god, I'm full. That was after we went to the Cryptozoology Museum in Portland, which is a really cool.
There's a cryptozoology museum?
Oh yeah. And by museum, I mean it's a collection of rooms with lots of kitsch in them and some statues of what they think Bigfoot looks like.
I mean, isn't that what any museum is?
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay. Looks like Jake's back. We're going to see how his internet's doing. Welcome back. And nope.
Oh, no.
Oh, you can try. It is.
I don't know. Maybe the ducks are like,
I'm
we
still-
don't like what Jake's talking
New
about.
brand. This is like a less than a year old laptop.
Oh, oh no.
Y'all can't hear me.
We can hear you, but your face will freeze in very fun poses.
Just restart.
Every 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, it's just going.
Oh.
Oh well.
I'm the only one here using internet on my Wi-Fi. Oh.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just.
Of course,
Yeah.
it just.
Yeah, big Wi-Fi doesn't like us very much, so we tend to.
They're not a sponsor of this
They're
channel.
not a sponsor of the show. All right. Well, I think that definitely. Yeah, Jake, we're gonna. I'm gonna toss up your. I'm gonna toss up your Instagram right here. You can follow Jake at Swamp Scientist to get all kinds of cool nature photographs and see the stuff that he does up in his neck of the woods. And it's nature, and Wi-Fi goes against nature, so it really does kind of.
Yeah.
Nature is fighting back.
On brand, I guess.
It's on brand. But thanks for trying, Jake. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks for showing us the twig box.
So yeah, definitely follow Jake at Swamp Scientist on Instagram.
I was so excited. I was so excited because I've been reading. I've been listening to Braiding Sweetgrass.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. You guys were talking a little bit about that before the show, but I was doing other things, so I just was kind of listening.
Yeah, so Braiding Sweetgrass is by Robin Wall Kimmerer, and she is she's indigenous, and she's a botanist, and she talks a lot about. It's a really nice book, and it's also, she's got a great reading voice, so it's great for like listening when you're trying to like unwind and calm down. But she talks a lot about, and it's a lot of storytelling, so it's very accessible. Mm-hmm. But she talks about people's relationship to the land, because we have this concept of like, like symbiotic relationships of like different animals, or animals with a certain plant, or two plants that like work together in nature, and like it's a positive relationship. And when we talk about the relationship between humans and the environment, what we've been taught and what our concept is that like humans don't have a positive relationship with nature. Like we just come in and destroy things, or like, humans are fighting against nature, right? So if there's like a hurricane, it's like man versus nature. And a lot of the book talks about like how that's not really true, how there is a way to interact with the land that's beneficial both to us and the ecosystem. And there, like, botany as a science, there's a lot that you can gain from studying things very scientifically in a very Western way. Right. But there's also like, it's also important to have like a connection to the land and like look at these plants as living beings and as like equals existing in the world, and seeing like, because she talks about, when she first went to school, when she first went to grad school, they were asking her like, okay, well, so why did you want to become a botanist? And she was like, I want to find out why these two plants look so beautiful together. Which is such like,
that's a cool, that's a cool reason.
And especially me being an English major, I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. Like
yes.
it's
the
poetry.
beauty of life.
Yeah. And so our reaction to that is like, oh, that's a really cool reason. And like the science, one of the teachers or whatever was like, you need to be more serious about your studies. But it turns out like that's just as important, because these two plants that grow together, like it's mutually beneficial, and like you have these, like if something is beautiful, people want to cultivate it, or if these two flowers grow together, like more bees will show up. I can't remember the exact flowers or reason for those ones, but like having that curiosity and compassion for plants is really important. And I was really excited to talk with Jake about this, because he actually took a class with her, and she talks a lot about like about this relationship with the land, but also like the relationships that Indigenous Americans have with the land, and that stewardship,
Right.
because like they like they know how to interact with the land in a positive way,
Right.
because they've been doing it for quite a long time.
Yeah. And it's been that kind of symbiotic relationship, where they, there's very little waste, and
and the idea of, well, and so like in California they have all these they've got these wildfires and stuff, and so part of the reason that has been happening, besides climate change, is they used to do controlled burns to sort of like burn off some of the brush to prevent it from causing a bigger problem later.
Right.
And some very well-meaning people were like, we shouldn't be burning the land. But the problem is that if you don't do the controlled burns, you get a much worse uncontrolled burn later.
Right.
And like the indigenous people of that area know that and have known that.
Right.
And so like because it's their land and they are familiar with it.
Yeah. I mean, you have to work with nature. You have to, same with like deer hunting, right? Like I'm not into deer hunting. A lot of people are. I mean, where I grew up, kids their parents would call in for them on the first day of deer hunting, right? And probably the same.
You just go to school for it. It's totally normal.
Absolutely. And it's, I mean, you got to do that to keep the population down, because they will literally be everywhere.
Yeah. They're like hunting. Like, I totally understand if like you don't want to hurt animals. 100%. Like, but see, looking at hunting, it's also an important part of the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like if there's no, which part of the problem is like we've gotten rid of the other predators that would eat deer. But like if we don't keep the population down now, they're going to overrun everything. Yeah. And also, I just read an article recently that deer can get COVID.
What?
And I'm not excited about that, because the implication is that they can harbor it and it will mutate.
Oh, Jesus. All right. I'm going to go. I've got a bunker. As soon as the show's over, next week's show will be from my bunker.
From the bunker. I mean, it's speculation, but it's very possible.
I love deer, but the minute they get COVID, get rid of all of them.
Get out of here, deer.
Get rid of all of them.
Yeah. And the other thing too that Oh shoot, I just completely lost my train of thought.
Yeah, that happens.
But like creating positive, like interacting with the land more and creating positive feelings and positive relationships, like interacting with plants and stuff. And she tells a lot of stories about like family and rituals, and like she and her daughters moved to this farm that had maple trees, and so they were like, we're gonna make maple syrup, because there was equipment left in the barn for tapping the trees, and they had like never done it before, and she's like so brave and gets out there and like experiments with it, and like learned a lot about how much sap it takes to make maple syrup.
So much sap.
Like way more than you think.
Yeah, but I love that you can just go and like put a like a spout on a tree.
Yeah.
And it just comes out, like, and it doesn't hurt the tree, like the tree is fine. You know, that just always was so like, I remember going and seeing that when I was a kid, like as part of one of my, I don't know, like some sort of like science field trip, or maybe it was a 4-H field trip or something. And we got to see that happen. And I was like, oh, that's just so cool.
It's crazy. Like they had like big garbage cans of sap, and they only got like enough maple syrup for like one meal of pancakes.
Well, and when I don't know about you, but when I have pancakes, I use a lot of maple syrup.
Oh yeah. I actually can't use that much because I'm like really sensitive to sugar, and so if I have, and especially first thing in the morning, if I did it in the afternoon, maybe it would be fine, but like for some reason, like maple syrup, maple sugar, like shoots into my system really fast, and then my ears start buzzing. It's too much.
Yeah, that's the good stuff right there. Get that. Get that pure syrup.
Yeah. What's your like favorite memory about nature?
That's a good one. I grew up in the middle of the woods, basically. Like my family, we used to live in town, which was this little bitty small farming town. But then at a very young age, my parents bought some land like 10 miles outside of town, or 15 miles outside of town. And they cleared this wooded area, and we had like a half a mile long driveway off the road that kind of, went back. It wasn't half a mile. That's an exaggeration, but it was a long driveway off the main road. Long enough to be
a little bit spooky.
It was 100%, because you would come in off the side road, and this is nothing but cornfields as far as the eye can see, right? So you come off the main road. There was our secondary road, and then you would go off on our driveway, and there was field on either side, up to a point where like the woods of our house started, and then like we were in the woods. So like you would go into these dark trees and then up, and then our house was right there. And that was so as a kid, I would like my house was surrounded by woods, and when it wasn't deer hunting season, I was not allowed to go out into the woods. But I would constantly just go out into the woods with my dog, and we would just kind of wander around and explore like the woods. I'd just walk through, and there's like hills and creeks, and I'd build clubhouses, and every once in a while we'd find like an abandoned car, like an old abandoned car. There was a lot of dumping out in our woods. So there were areas where you would find like an old abandoned car, or like something that somebody had just like
Oh my
brought
God.
out into the woods and left.
Yeah. Like, I don't need this anymore.
Or like a dilapidated like barn that you could go into, or there were a few houses that like the trees, like the
Wow.
woods had grown up around, and then it's just an abandoned old like decaying house, which
That's
was
so
weird.
crazy.
Yeah,
So that's like that were like pretty extensive woods there.
it was yeah, there was nothing for miles.
Yeah.
But I would always walk down to, there was a kid that was a little younger than me that lived down the road. And this, I'm not exaggerating. He lived like a mile down the road from me. And I would walk down to his house, and then we would go and, go through the woods. Our dogs would come with us. And it was like, that was great. Like that.
Yeah.
I got a lot of nature as a kid.
Yeah. Being out in the trees.
But yeah, just exploring, and it was really cool.
Well, and like talking about how dark it is in the woods, out in the country, is like I forget every time how like without the streetlights and stuff, it gets so dark in the country, which is like gorgeous because you can see all the stars. And that's one of my favorite things about like when I come home is like being able to look up at the sky and just see.
But also
stars.
Terrifying.
It's very scary.
It's scary because it's dark and it's clear and you can see it, and it's quiet up until the coyotes start howling. And then like we had a lot of coyotes around our area.
Oh yeah.
So it was just at night you would go outside and just like you'd listen, it'd be real quiet, and then all of a sudden you'd just hear like little yips and howls like from off in the distance, and it was the craziest thing. When I was at my sister's house back in I think it was August when I went back to Illinois. My sister also has a place out in the country, not far from Charleston, Illinois. And I'm sitting outside, and it's getting around dusk, and I start seeing what I think at first are birds, like swooping and flying and flitting, but they were bats.
They were definitely bats.
And there were a lot of them.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, there were so many bats, and you would just see this little like. It was just flap, 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 in this little bitty body, and they would like, it was crazy. I was like, oh, these are bats. And I definitely felt like, yeah, I've been in the city for far too long. Because I was like, yeah.
Yikes. Yeah.
But it was cool.
I liked, some one of my funniest nature memories.
Oh, yes.
So when I was in my junior year of high school, my parents moved up to Alaska. And so I was going to boarding school. So I just kind of like came back to a different place in the summer. It didn't like hugely shift my routine. But so I got the opportunity to like spend time up there, and there's like so much hiking. There's a trailhead like every 10 feet. And I love climbing up on the mountains in the winter.
Yeah, because you really lived in nature. Like Alaska's, you really lived in nature. Like that's like I grew up in, farmland nature.
Yeah.
You grew up in like rustic bears will eat you nature.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't really. I grew up mostly in Wisconsin, but it is such a different world of like, and that's the thing too, is that like people are like, oh, Alaska, bears are gonna get you. No, you gotta look out for moose.
The moose, will the moose come for you?
Oh yeah. Like if there is a moose in your path, just go somewhere else. Just turn around, be late to wherever you're gonna go, because if you upset a moose, it's not good news for anybody. It's a legitimate excuse to be
Yeah,
for stuff.
moose
There's
moose
in the
are
woods.
like if a deer and a horse had a child, and that
I would
child took
say,
steroids.
yeah, I
Uh,
would say like a deer and
a cow and a
cow and a
giraffe.
giraffe. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they're very tall. Yeah, they're bigger than you think they're gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta look out. You don't want to mess with mooses.
Mooses.
Moose.
Mises.
I guess it's moose plural, but I like to say mooses.
Yeah. Mooses is a much more fun word.
But getting out there on the mountain and stuff, like, it was so funny. It's first of all, it's gorgeous. Like the greens and the like little scrub plants and the really blue pools. But I was climbing up on the mountain and I heard this whistle. And I was like, who's cat calling me while I'm hiking?
Like, oh God!
It's
like there's a bunch of construction workers.
They're like building a tunnel.
Yeah.
But no, there's a little creature called a marmot.
A marmot.
Yeah, it's basically like a chubby little beaver, but without the tail. And they whistle. They go. It's so funny. And I was like looking around and I was like,
that's a marmot
whistling at me. And it was just these marmots, and they're so cute. They're just chubby little guys.
Just chubby little guys.
Mountain guys.
That's great. Yeah. I love like running up on like animals in the woods. I used to work at this summer camp out in the southern part of the Catskills. I've talked about it before, I think. And I remember my first year there, I was like, oh, I'm going to go walk around in the woods just a little bit, just to kind of explore around like outside the camp a little bit. And as I was walking through the woods, this like family of foxes like ran by like fairly close to me. And I got to like watch them go. Oh, I love that. It was so.
What color were they?
Oh man, this was a while ago. I mean, I think they were like regular fox colored foxes. Yeah. I don't know.
Have you ever seen? I gotta show you this fox because it's really metal.
A metal fox?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find it.
This is another good picture of a marmot right there. Look at that guy.
Oh yeah. Yep. Oh, cross fox, I guess.
Cross fox?
Yes. Here, let me send you this link.
You can actually now put the link in the chat yourself if you'd like, because now I have removed those. I've laxed up the chat a little bit, so link it up. Don't make me regret it. Let's see.
I have like a chat box for that.
Oh, look at this! This is a metal-looking fox. Holy cow! Look at that! Oh, look at that! Get 5 secrets to true creativity.
Oh, good, excellent. I was been wondering about that.
Look at that guy. What are these called?
Cross fox?
Oh, it's in Newfoundland.
I honestly don't know that much about them except that they look hella cool.
Look at that guy. Yeah. Oh, foxes are so beautiful. Like I love them so much.
I'm excited that they've got domesticated foxes now.
Do they really? Like, is it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would love to have a fox. I think that would be so cool to have. But like, I don't know. I'm kind of weird about like exotic pets.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
because I'm like,
yeah, it's still at
should
the
we really
point where
have
they're.
those?
Yeah, it's still at the point where it's like, it's very expensive. I think you have to have like a permit or something, and it's they're like just now domesticated, so it's like they're still maybe a little bit wild. I'm not really,
Right.
but they're so fun. But the thing about foxes that you don't expect is that they like, oh, look at that.
Look at
Oh my
that guy.
goodness. That's a great picture.
Oh, I love that picture so much. Sorry, what were you saying?
Like a screamy noise. Like, it's not, they're like so cool and clever, and the sound that they make is just like
oh man, I've seen some TikTok foxes, fox talk, if you will. But of course, I didn't save any of them. So, but yes, I've heard their.
Turns out we do know what the fox say.
Let's see if I can.
That sounds like Buddy Joe when he's mad at me for not hanging out with him.
Right. It kind of sounds like Annie too when she's calling, like when she's doing her cough thing. Well, there we go. We answered the question, Yelvis. That's what the fox says.
That's what the fox say.
I am not embarrassed to say I still listen to that song every now and again.
Oh, that's a banger.
That's a banger.
100%.
Have you heard any of their other stuff? They have a Massachusetts song.
Oh yeah, I've heard the Massachusetts song. It's real weird.
It's real weird, but very funny. But very, very funny. What other animals have you? So you've
encountered in nature.
First of all, look at that picture. You can kind of see his little teeth right there.
That's a whole mood.
Like that's the Robin Hood fox there. That's the
sauciest of foxes.
The sauciest of foxes.
Yeah.
If you could have any pet, other than Buddy Joe, you still have Buddy Joe.
Yeah.
Obviously.
But
any animal that it would immediately be domesticated, and it would be great to have, and it would be your best friend. What animal would you like?
Probably a bear.
Probably a bear?
Yeah. Because then I could because bears are cool. They're pretty smart. They like watching sunsets. I could ride on him.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool.
So a big bear. Like a big.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any particular kind of bear? Like,
oh man,
like a Kojak bear or a grizzly bear?
Like a sun bear?
Not Kojak, Kodak. It's Kodak. Not Kojak is a mystery solving bear. No, is Kojak a cheese? No, it's just what?
Kojak
I don't think Colby Jack. Colby Jack is cheese.
Oh, wow.
I would like a Colby Jack bear.
Well, so here's maybe a sun bear.
Ooh, a sun bear?
Yeah. I don't know a super lot about them, but here, I sent you a link. Every picture of a sun bear, it looks like a person in a bear costume trying to act natural.
It does.
Look at him.
It does. Ooh, I'm a bear. I don't think you could ride that bear though.
I don't think I could. I probably have to go with like a grizzly bear, but
That'd be a
grizzly
solid
bears
bear.
are the scariest. Because yeah, black bear wouldn't be big enough either.
Yeah, I think a black bear would be such a fun, like, that would be a fun bear to have. Like, because they're kind of, they're like a little bigger than a dog, right? They're like a big dog.
Yeah.
Only it's a bear.
Yeah. They get into all kinds of mischief.
Yeah, that would be the thing, is like they would get into everything.
Yeah. Ooh, or a raccoon.
Yeah, I would love to have like I love watching like
a raccoon or raccoons. An otter.
Yeah, those would be fun pets to have.
Be super fun.
Yeah. I'd like an elephant. I wish I could like have the space and the I would love to not own an elephant, but like have like an elephant that was like a friend of mine. Right? Like have one that is like, hey, this guy's cool. I want to hang out with him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I always feel weird about saying that I own Buddy Joe. It's like, no, he's like my cool roommate that likes to sleep in my bed.
It's a cool roommate that you're responsible for feeding and making sure he's healthy and clothed, and he's your child basically. So you own him in the way that a parent owns their child. You don't own them, but they owe you a lot. Which I also
disagree with.
Right. I mean, without you, they would be in a much worse place.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's but ownership is a weird word.
Yeah.
Like I think that's why we refer to our dogs as our fur babies.
Yeah. I'm really excited I'm not excited to like go to the airport and be traveling. But there's one moment that I live for when I'm traveling with Buddy Joe. Is that so I have a little carrier for him, but it just looks like a little like rectangular suitcase.
Uh-huh.
But you have to take him out and you have to put the carrying case through
the
X-ray machine. And so like it just looks like a little suitcase, so you can't tell that there's a dog in there. And so when I open it up and he pops his head out and I take him out and everybody looks and they're like, oh, there's a dog there. And they're like so excited. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
And like, wow, I didn't know there was a dog in there.
And seeing Buddy Joe's little face pop out of that, I mean, I could only wish to be the person behind you in line at TSA.
Especially now that he's got his super dope skull sweater.
Yeah. Well, they're also going to be like, that's not a dog to mess with. Like, that dog may look cute, but it has a switchblade and it will stab you.
Yeah. Buddy Joe has figured out how to hold a switchblade without an opposable thumb, and we're all afraid.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw this TikTok of it was a dog that had it had picked up a knife, or it had picked up like a long, like bladed something by the handle and was like walking around with it in its mouth, not really knowing what was going on, but was like swinging it around, and people were like, oh shit, like we're going to get hurt. Like this dog has to put this down before it hurts somebody, but like they weren't doing it well. Like they weren't. So the dog, it was crazy. Last night yesterday I was gone pretty much all day from home.
Yeah.
I worked 3 different jobs yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was a rough day. I'm looking a little rough today. That's kind of why I think I'm like, I like woke up. I was like, oh, I gotta do the show. I'm wearing my comfy, my cozy, like this is like a little waffle kind of. It's so warm, and I was like, shirt. I don't want to take it off, but I was like, I look like I'm just wearing long underwear if I don't have it on. So I was like, okay, I'll just put on a sweatshirt over it. Yeah, this will be great. But anyway, I got home last night around 9:00, and Abby was outside with Gracie, our husky. She was taking her out for the night before it was bedtime. And I see Gracie see the car pull up, and she like, you see her butt start to wiggle. And she does this thing where she'll like, and then she'll sit really excited, but her tail, which is just one big ball of floof, you just see just going crazy. And then I get out of the car and walk around, and she goes ape shit. Like, she just starts making noises. She's like tugging on Abby, who's trying to hold, like, Abby. I was like, oh God, please be careful. my pregnant wife is trying to hold on to a husky as the husky is trying to get to me. So I like close the distance to get as close, to get to her. And she's just, oh my God, I've never like felt so welcome. Like, it was the best. She was like, ha, 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 and like taking my hand in her, or taking my like arm in her mouth, and just like, and getting excited, and then, wanting pets, but then like wanting to like lick my face. And then I came in and gave Annie scritches, and Gracie was like, no, and like came up on me, and like she was doing this like thing where she'd jump up and push me with her two front paws.
She's trying to kill you.
She might be trying to kill. I mean, I might have misconstrued the nicety for I'm just trying to kill you. I usually do. That's something I've been meaning to work on.
There's nothing like a dog being excited about you being there. Buddy Joe is usually sleeping whenever I come home, and so like it's really cute because he doesn't get the zoomies. He doesn't run around.
Right. He's an old guy.
He's an older
He's
guy.
a distinguished older gentleman.
What a distinguished
gentleman.
Look at the way that he is sitting. And he'll kind of like sort of startle awake and then be like, oh, you're here. Hello.
It's like, oh, you came back. It's the most adorable thing, because they think you're gone forever. Like, you leave, they think you're gone forever.
I was like, I thought about like, leaving him here because my my roommate Stephanie is very attached to him, and like Stephanie and Scott would take good care of him, and he just, I think it would break his heart, like, as much as he loves Scott and Stephanie. Like, I'm gonna be away for 20 days.
Oh yeah, no, he wouldn't handle that very well. I don't think he would
make it. I can't do more than like 4 days.
And honestly, I don't think you could. Yeah. You could handle it. Like,
I mean, not.
That was when Abby and I were on our honeymoon. We were gone for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And about a week in, Abby was like, I miss the dogs. I miss the dogs.
Yeah. My dad, like, whenever my dad is away from his poodles, he'll look off into the distance and be like, do you think Maddie's thinking about me? So I'm very excited. They have 2 standard poodles. They got a black poodle and an apricot poodle.
Oh, cool. I love poodles.
And Sophie is still pretty young, so she's got a lot of energy. I don't know how hyped Buddy Joe's going to be about all that, but
at the dog park we go to, near Alewife, there's a family that has 3 poodles.
Oh my god!
And they're all black poodles.
Too many poodles.
And it's like there's an old like matriarch poodle. There's a middle-aged kind of adult poodle, and then there's the younger poodle, and they all look exactly the same, but they are not litter mates at all. Like, they are 3.
Oh, wow.
They are 3 separate dogs, not related. But I always refer to them as the weird sisters.
I think that's
just because they all come to the dog park together, and Gracie loves them. And she loves to run around with them.
Poodles are very high energy.
Yeah.
People don't know that. They're like poodles. They're prissy and all dressed up, but they're super obnoxious.
Yeah.
They're not delicate by any means.
And they're very like lanky and kind of like when they get into their full like run, they're a little awkward. They're a little awkward. But yeah, they're all Oh man, but I do like it's so cool to like see them coming because I mean you can like they look like sisters.
Yeah.
They just all look very, very similar, but they're all once you get up close, you can tell which one's the oldest, which one's the youngest, which one's in the middle. Like it's really, really fun.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
So the other thing I'm excited about, obviously, is seeing these poodles, but also seeing my niece.
Oh yeah.
She's 6 years old. And she has a Pikachu onesie that she loves to live in it. She loves to sleep in it. She loves to wear it as pajamas. And she told my mom, which my mom she calls her Puma.
It's so the names that like kids like because my niece and my nephews referred to my mom as Dadder. Dadder.
Oh, that's just so interesting.
Yeah, it's just a weird. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
She goes, Pama, you don't have to. This is a costume. I know I wear it to sleep, but it's a costume, so you don't have to wash it all the time. And meanwhile, she's like been crawling under my parents' bed, like getting a bunch of dust bunnies on her.
You're like, I need to wash this.
Yeah. But so I was talking to her and I was like, Harper, should I get a Pikachu onesie to match you, or should I get an Eevee onesie so I can be different Pokemon? And she goes, you should get an Eevee onesie because somebody told me that Eevee and Pikachu are sisters.
Oh my heart. Oh,
She's
my heart.
Really excited that I'm coming up to see her, and it makes me feel so cool.
Yeah. Well, no, you are definitely, I would definitely see you as the cool aunt. Like, yeah. I kind of wish that you were my cool aunt.
Oh, yeah. I think I'm great at it. I am like super chill, and like I like doing. I mean, really, what it is I just like all the same things that kids like.
Yeah.
Like
speaking of nieces,
watching cartoons.
My sister sent me this picture, and it's well, she posted it on Facebook. My niece Olivia just recently had a dance recital. Where she was a reindeer for this dance recital.
I'm so excited.
And they did, like, I'm not going to show you the video because the song that they danced to is ridiculous. It's like some country Run Run Rudolph remix, and it's weird.
Oh my.
And I don't care for it. Okay. I did not care for the song selection. However, I mean, that's okay. It's all right. It's not my dance class.
Yeah.
But this is my niece's outfit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh my heart. Look at her.
Look at her little antlers. Oh my god.
Look at her little
so
antlers.
Adorable.
And her little floof.
Stop. That's an excellent costume.
It's so good. It's such a good costume.
Yeah.
And that look on her face, she's like, She's fantastic. Yeah. And here's a like this is them in a little circle. You can see the little all the little reindeer there.
Oh no.
Yeah. it's hard being so far away from your nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Like I have
100%.
3 nephews that I very rarely that I never see, and
Yeah.
and then I have 4 nephews, 3 from one sister and 1 from my baby sister, and then Olivia's brother. Yeah. But yeah, it sucks not being able to see my nieces and nephews. But I do try whenever I'm around. I do try to get them those like fun, like cool gifts.
Yeah.
Like I try to be the cool uncle, and I go to like, and by cool I mean cool by like my standards. So it's like I go to like these like game shops. Or like the in the mall, like the mall kiosks, or the like the shop that has like all the different board games and puzzles and like brain stuff.
Yeah.
And then I try to get them something educational and then something that will annoy my sister.
Yeah.
I got them
that's the metric of how entertaining it's going to be to the kids. Is like how much is going to annoy them.
Yeah. A few years ago, I got them back when Despicable Me was first coming out.
Yeah.
There was a weapon, I guess, in the movie that was a fart gun.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And there was a replica fart gun that you could buy at the toy store. So, of course, I got my nephews this fart gun. And I guess at the start, like it actually, like the farts would smell like bananas. Like it was banana scented. Like every time you would fire it, a little poof of scent would.
Oh, that's so funny.
Which I thought was just like I just thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And then I think that was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. But then I think like maybe last year, or the year before, my sister was like, the fart gun finally died. Like they had like. That was like something that they got like
that
2 or 3 years worth
of
farts in that gun. And I've never felt more proud. I was like, my gift giving skills
pretty good durability
are on point.
Yeah.
Well, my uncle would get me, my Uncle Greg, my dad's middle brother.
Yeah.
Would always get me like the fun, weird gifts, you know. So I was like, oh, I want to be that. I want to be that guy.
That's what you got to do. And I've been thinking about this a lot recently, of like this concept of, so America is not like, I don't know if you know this, America like is not super accommodating to children or parents. There's a lot of this feeling of like kids are a nuisance, or like, why are you bringing your kid here if they're going to make noise? And like, they're just little humans trying to figure out what's going on around them. Like, of course they're overwhelmed all the time. It's like all new information.
Right.
And I was thinking about this because my Aunt Karen is my favorite aunt. Like, I was trying, like, I want to be like her. And so, like, I was trying to figure out, like, what was it about Aunt Karen that made me feel so cool and special? Mm-hmm. And I basically made this connection of, like, oh, she treated me like a human.
Like, yeah.
Like a person.
Yeah.
Their own, like, valuable thoughts and interesting hobbies and wants and all this stuff, of like, she like treated me like an equal. And I was like, because like a lot of times when you talk to kids, it's like you don't know what to say, or like you have to teach them a lesson about something, and it's like not everything has to be a lesson. You guys can just chill and like talk about something that you both like. And
yeah, I love talking to kids like they're adults. Like, just like having a conversation just to see what they say.
They've got stuff to say.
They do have stuff to say.
And like, I really want to like talk to Harper and make her, and make her feel like I am interested in what she's got to say. And like, my mom, so she was Alice in Wonderland for Halloween.
Oh,
and
nice.
My mom is like, oh, she's really into Alice in Wonderland. We're going to redo her whole room. we're gonna do Alice in Wonderland in her room.
Oh, nice.
And I was kind of like, my mom is one of those people that like, she's very good at listening, and she like, you know, is very thoughtful, but sometimes she'll latch on to things of like, you know, I said one time that like, oh, peacocks are really cool, and then I just got like peacock paraphernalia for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to check in with Harper and and ask her like, hey, so like, how much are you into Alice in Wonderland? And she was like, I used to watch the movie all the time when I was 4. And I was like, well, what do you like about her? And she's like, well, she's just the best.
Like, she's just the best.
Okay, so we can go ahead. We can go forward with this Alice in Wonderland plan. But it's like,
she's just the best.
People are like, I don't know what kids like. It's like, just ask them.
Just ask them what they like.
They were so happy to tell you.
Yeah. I'm bad about that. Like I'm like okay, so my nephews are like, well, I mean, my oldest nephew is now 16, and he's
wow.
Yeah. So it's like getting him stuff is I don't know, next to impossible. I just don't know. At that point, I think they just want money.
Money.
Just give me money, because I'm not.
Money, please.
Money, please. Yeah. But yeah, I love getting like board games and puzzles that are just weird, like, you know, just anything to try and spark a little bit of imagination or something like that. And if they don't like it, they don't like it. I'm like, it's all right. It's not going to hurt my feelings.
Yeah. Well, because it's like hard when you're not right there to know. But like, I mean, thank God for FaceTime.
Yeah. Yeah. FaceTime's a good, good thing to keep that connection going. I don't FaceTime nearly as much as I should, but occasionally we'll FaceTime, and especially with Olivia and Franklin, my two youngest, my youngest niece and nephew.
I love the FaceTime.
Yeah. My baby sister loves to FaceTime me, so she'll FaceTime me every now and then. My baby, I say my baby sister. She's in her 30s, but she'll always be my baby sister.
Yeah. Well, but it's so like, I always felt so uncomfortable when I was a kid, and I would like see my aunts and uncles that I hadn't seen in years, and it's like, this is a stranger to me, and I would like like having FaceTime, like Harper and I can interact and see each other's faces and stuff, and so it's like, it's much easier to keep that connection and like not have to reintroduce myself every time that I show up and be like, can we be friends again?
Yeah. I mean, that's how it with Olivia. When Olivia was born, like that was right around the time Abby and I got married. So, like she was at the wedding, but she was a baby. So then the next time I saw her, she wasn't a baby anymore, and she was like, I don't know who this guy is. Yeah, who is like this guy's just like. My mom seems to like him. So I had to work at it. I had to be like, and finally we hit on playing this dinosaur game where I would, do the T-Rex walk at her, and she would, so I basically just chase her around. But then once I started that, she wouldn't let me stop.
Yeah.
It was like Squid Game. I had to keep going. But I think that she's like, okay, what are you going to do for me, old man? Let's
I once
make
made
this
the
happen.
mistake of letting my niece honk my nose.
Oh yeah, no, you should never do that.
So because she would go boop and I would go honk, and she loved that. Then we had to scale it back because she'd be like, well, what other parts of your face make noises?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Or sometimes like, she would just honk a little bit too hard, and I was like, oh, that's my ouchies.
Like, all right, kid, here's the deal. We're going to start teaching you about personal space.
Yeah. It's a good game.
It's a good game until it isn't.
It can get out of control very quickly.
Yeah. As most games with children can. They can go from 0 to crying fit in a matter of seconds. But honestly, that's how games are with adults as well.
Oh yeah,
it's
true.
very easy for that to happen. It's the only time my wife has ever told me to F off was during a board game. So. Oh
my gosh, I forget sometimes how competitive I am.
Right, until you're like, oh, this doesn't matter, but it matters.
I want to win. Well, and so there are a couple things I've done to combat this. One of them is playing cooperative games.
Oh, yes.
So you're on the same team as everybody in the room. The other one is shifting the perspective of what the object of the game is.
Okay.
So with a game like One Night Ultimate Werewolf or Assassin or whatever, like that game always frustrated me because I was like, I don't know how to win this game.
Right.
I would like to win this game, but there's so many factors and like you have to like manipulate people. It's a whole thing. So it would always upset me. But then I shifted my perspective to the object of the game is not to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
The object of the game is to create chaos within it.
Ah.
So because it's not like there are not very many people who can like repeatedly win that game.
Right.
So like thinking about it as something you have to win is just you're not going to be happy at the end of it. But if you think about it as like, how can I mess with people and create a completely different outcome this time?
Right.
It's more fun that way.
It's more fun that way. Yeah. Absolutely. And there's a lot more games out there. Like I'm seeing so many like really fun like game. There was a game I saw on TikTok maybe last week where it's like these little it's made to be played in this kind of scenario, right? Over a long period of time. So everybody gets a little folder with you have basically objectives in the folder. And it's objectives like make somebody say a phrase or get someone to do like it's all trying to get people to do certain things without them calling you out on it. Right. So it's like, oh, you're trying to get me to do this for your thing.
So funny.
And then if you get it, you turn it over and it says completed and but you can play this over the course of like weeks or days. It's really it was so really great. It was really kind of cool. I'll have to figure. Yeah, I love like those kind of games. I can't like I love like I miss doing like board game nights where you have people over and you play like you play legit like games in front of you like I like playing games online with people, but there's just something about like having that kind of camaraderie of playing Ticket to Ride or Settlers or
Ticket to Ride. Train game. A train game is always a winner in my mind.
Well, Ticket to Ride's such a fun game.
Yeah.
But yeah, or just even playing cards. Like I want to do like a card.
My parents are big into gin rummy.
Mm-hmm. I love gin rummy. I love euchre. Did you ever play euchre? You're from the Midwest. No. You should know what euchre is.
Well, but my parents aren't from the Midwest.
No. You can't find anybody that knows how to play euchre in New England, which is sad because it's a really fun team card game.
Yeah.
That we would play for hours. All right, best 2 out of 3. Okay, best 5 out of 7. All right, best 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what my parents do with gin rummy. Like and they, I don't know. I think my dad hates it because I think he and my mom are pretty evenly matched. He wins a little bit more than she does, but they're pretty evenly matched. And then I come home and I like destroy everyone.
I am so good at this game.
I'm like, I don't even practice. What now?
All right, friends. Well, that's the show. It's been a nice. That's it. Sorry,
nice relaxing chat.
Nice relaxing chat show. I think you froze. You froze there for a second.
Did I? Oh no.
Yeah, but no, you're back. You're back.
Okay.
It's all good. Thank you all so much for watching. Big thanks to Jake Brillo for joining us. Big boo to Jake Brillo's internet.
We'll
we'll
have him back when the internet's better.
Yeah, and we'll take a better look at his twig box.
Oh, so hyped about the twig box.
Next time, hopefully his Wi-Fi will be better. Yeah. You know what? It's the season. You want to buy something for a friend. Then you know what you could do? You could get yourself some 2MB Studios merchandise. Our TeePublic store is on. It's having a sale right now. I think things are pretty. Like you can get T-shirts for like $14. We've got some front and back. Like we got all kinds of stuff here.
Yeah.
I'll just we've got so much. We've got so much stuff. I love this. I love the Sarah Jane Burns collab shirt here. It's great.
I've not seen this Live Laugh Loaf.
We've got a Live Laugh Loaf shirt, which is fantastic. $14. And you don't have to just get it on a T-shirt. You can get it on a mouse pad. You can get it on a cup. You can get it on a mug. You can get it on you can get a tote bag or a laptop case. All kinds of stuff. And we've got so much stuff. I have this T-shirt. I have my milk bag T-shirt from when Poof was on the channel.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of fun shirts on here.
These are great.
So head on over to teepublic.com for it should say 2MB Studios. I don't know
a swag shop
that is like that. That is, but yeah, you can get if you're on our Twitch page, you can go down to the About section and get all those links there. Yeah. So we'll be back next week.
I will be in Alaska. It will be very early.
Oh no. Okay. Well, Chloe will be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Because 100%. Any words of wisdom before we leave, Chloe?
Oh my gosh. Get out in nature a little bit. I know it's harder when it's colder, but a little fresh air, that'll revive you.
100%. 100%. All right, friends. Have a good week. See you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.